This your host of WLOZ, Bunya Howard, Bunya Sharam. Opium over there at WLOZ that came with another smash hit. What would you gain if you lose your soul?
What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I'd rather live my life like Job, Lord, refine me in the furnace till I'm pure like gold. From out the concrete grew a rose. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I'd rather live my life like Job, Lord, refine me in the furnace till I'm pure like gold. The truth was written, it was never sold.
There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, very wealthy, blessed and healthy, with a soul pure as gold. Couldn't find another man like him, cause he was perfect and never sinned. The reason why the devil didn't like him, so he asked the Lord, could he test him? The only reason why he loyal to you, cause you blessed him, so he gave him over. Now Satan happy that he taking over, trying to convict him, had the power to do everything but kill him. Now Job never seen it coming, took all his riches and his cattle, he was left with nothing, but he never folded. He blessed Yahweh and he kept his soul, cause he was loyal even though he started breaking out with boils. His wife started to take it hard, but through it all Job never turned on his God. Then the Lord turned back his captivity of troubles, and everything he lost he got back double. Barakatha Yahweh.
For the man to gain the world and lose his soul, I'd rather live my life like Job, Lord, refine me in the furnace till I'm pure like gold. From out the concrete grew a rose. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I'd rather live my life like Job, Lord, refine me in the furnace till I'm pure like gold. The truth was written, it was never sold. The Most High gave me authority and a blank check with your name, most importantly. How much for your soul? A big house with some Porsche keys, haulers from overseas, so you can have you some orgies. Boy, please, you gotta sign in blood to afford these, but you can have it all if you just act accordingly. It's some forbidden fruit, since you thinking you worthy, you won't surely die. Take a bite and come serve me. All I ask in return is a coon for eternity. You're every kingdom in the firmament for your loyalty. Tell your children to keep gang banging and murdering, and tell your women they need Brazilian butt lift surgery. Teach them love is love, can't forget about gay pride. Try and change your mind and that ass is mine. Once you sign a dotted line, there's no way to repent. Don't try to turn back now, you should have read the fine print. Nigga, profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul. I'd rather live my life like Job, Lord, refine me in the furnace till I'm pure like gold. From out the concrete grew a rose. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I'd rather live my life like Job, Lord, refine me in the furnace till I'm pure like gold. The truth was written, it was never sold.
So what's the price of your soul? You want the chain, the whip, the cars, the clothes, the money, the Benz, the Rolls, the D's and Lows? We want the kingdom. The whole earth is our turf. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua.
He gave us so many chances. He gave us so many chances. Now it's time to move. No, we cannot lose, cause we facing way too much damage. We gotta get right. We cannot take him for granted. Stay strong in this fight. We gotta make an advancement. He gave us so many chances. He gave us so many chances. Now it's time to move. No, we cannot lose, cause we facing way too much damage. We gotta get right. We cannot take him for granted. Stay strong in this fight. You know that's how we plan it.
All praise to the Abba. At so many dark days I've been bothered. His mercy endures forever. But my people lost faith in the Father. So far gone from the truth, spit the knowledge in the boot, time to bring them in. Every single day is a battle, cause we got a war to win. We've been at the bottom, way too low, we don't know that there's a problem. We don't wanna listen, stiff neck, look at how far that we falling. Better know it's God that I'm calling. He's the only one that can save us. See my people when I'm reading through the pages. Coming back to the law's gonna change us. But we gotta repent, it's almost time. Reading prophecies, I see the signs. But my people need to see it too. All this pain is unbelievable.
He gave us so many chances. He gave us so many chances. Now it's time to move. No, we cannot lose, cause we facing way too much damage. We gotta get right. We cannot take him for granted. Stay strong in this fight. We gotta make an advancement. He gave us so many chances. He gave us so many chances. Now it's time to move. No, we cannot lose, cause we facing way too much damage. We gotta get right. We cannot take him for granted. Stay strong in this fight. You know that's how we plan it, yeah, we gotta change our ways. Keep the law and we saved by grace. Every single day I pray that our people get right. Can't change my pace, no. We cannot slow down. Bible is a blueprint, sticking to the code now. You know how it goes down. Waking up the lost sheep, I've been in the zone now. The kingdom is all in my mind, but the devil be calling my line. Been fighting temptation, we gotta stay patient, yeah, we gotta wait for the time. Cause we did the most high wrong. Keep the faith and we gotta stay strong. I stay patient, hope we don't got long. No man knows the time, but the Father, I'm on the grind. Can't be caught up in my sin, it's time to win. Stay in the spirit, I'm locking in. Look at the curses he got us in. We gotta reverse, it might not be perfect, but we rehearsing. He gave us so many chances. He gave us so many chances. Now it's time to move, no we cannot lose, cause we facing way too much damage. We gotta get right, we cannot take him for granted. Stay strong in this fight, we gotta make an advancement. He gave us so many chances. He gave us so many chances. Now it's time to move, no we cannot lose, cause we facing way too much damage. We gotta get right, we cannot take him for granted. Stay strong in this fight, you know that's how we plan it, yeah.
Heaven is your throne, it's in your hand like it's a paradise. Babylon to all states, can you be my helper? All the trials and tribulations make you stronger, smarter. Mission to the flock of pigs. Reaching for my pen and writer.
No to Abba, Holy Father, my soul provider. I'm gonna be honest, I was at the bottom, and without you, I don't know what I would amount to.
The water, Abba, your mercies endure forever. No name, talk to him.
Finding Nemo, I was lost until I found you. You picked me up from out the dirt and said I got you. Took me to the court, I'm on your team, we got the rock too. Shoot, my shot name is a kingdom. Land of captivity, this is no freedom. Chain on your neck, you worshiping dollars. Hit with a sentence, you chasing commas. Up in the streets, no time for no drama. Breaking the chains, breaking the chains. Yeah. Father, you are worthy of honor and all the praises. I was in the maze till you came and showed me the way. In the valleys of the shadows, you with me, I'm not afraid. You gotta obey, so we see a change. Addicted to them drugs, never satisfied me. Evildoers was around me, had to get up and leave. Look, this is more than a song, I'm trying to right on my wrong. Have mercy, Abba, on us, and put your spirit on us. And repentant, hope you get the message in this.
No to Abba, Holy Father, my soul provider. I'm gonna be honest, I was backsliding in the world. Thank you for your mercy, it endures forever. Now we got it together. Alcohol and women was my main vice. Looking in the mirror like this ain't right. I gotta stop. Took my feet and I planted them on that solid rock. Fasted out every demon that told me not to stop. Total submission to your laws and commands. Heaven is your throne, it's in your hands. Was on that sensitive milk, knees weak, trying to stand. Hit that water and become a virgin. Baptism. Had so much pride, now I'm a humble servant. We can't tell you how we did it, we just know it's working. Faith. All glory to Abba, Messiah's coming, I got discernment. Yeah, this I know to Abba. Gotta stay vigilant and stay sober-minded. I'm gonna be honest, without you, I don't know what I would amount to. Heaven
Heaven is your throne, it's in your hand like it's a paradise. Babylon to all states, can you be my helping? All the trials and tribulations made you stronger, smarter. Message to the flock, repeat. Reaching for my pen and write up. No to Abba, my holy father. I'm gonna be honest, without you, I don't know what I would amount to, no. Message to the flock, repeat. Heaven is your throne. Yeah, it's in your hand, paradise.
All right, Khan. All praise be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for his mercy truly endureth forever. I am Captain Kadash from D out of Zion. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. I pray everybody's having a good day, having a good week. This is Wednesday Wisdom, right? You see the title of the class, you see what's going on, you see what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, right? We've been going into the structure of the family. Right, when we talk about husbands and wives, all right, who's next after that? The child, right? The child's up next, all right, because a lot of times we forget about the child. We forget about how children actually can be responsible for destroying a household as well, all right? No one likes to talk about that, all right? If a child is unruly and he's out of order, he's being an unrighteous child, right? That child can cause destruction in his house as well. Right? We've seen that happen before. We see that happen till this day. All right. Most of the time it's due to our parents not raising children correctly. And most of the time it's due to our parents not listening to the wisdom of the Most High when it comes to how we're supposed to be raising our children. Right? Now there's many ways to skin a cat, right? There's many ways to raise a child. But there's one right way when we talk about in righteousness. All right. When you look at our children today, the average child is out of order. Right. The average child has no respect. You rarely hear children address adults, saying yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. Right. You rarely hear that nowadays. When I was growing up, that was very common. All right. Very, very common. You could easily find somebody that's yes, sir, yes, ma'am. All right. Calling, if it's an older adult, you call them, you don't call him by his first name. You say Mr. So-and-so. All right. Even when you talk about parents, you never call your parents by their first name because that was considered disrespectful. Right. But nowadays, you see what children are doing. You see that children have become unruly and unrighteous. That's why this class needs to be had. You rarely have a class that's directed to children. All right. Rarely. It's most of them kind of just soaking up when they're around the adults, when they go to classes or they're listening to the YouTube. It's usually their parents listening to something. All right. It's rare that they have a class directed to them. So listen, if you got a child, put your child in front of the screen. All right. Put your child in front of the screen because this is very important information. In Proverbs 22:6, it says, train up a child in the way they should go. All right. A lot of our children, children nowadays have not been trained up in the way they should be going, which is why we have so many problems. People don't understand how important the structure of the family is when you talk about a child. The child is literally the next generation of people to come in this earth. And if you raise them incorrectly, think about how detrimental that can be to the generations of people after us when we're dead and gone. All right? You put them in the wrong environment, you put the wrong ideologies in their mind, they're going to pass that up to their children. And what you think going to happen? All right? They're going to pass that on to their children going to pass it on to their children, and so on. All right? So we can't do that. All right? Before I get started, I'm going to open up with the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. All right? So as always, make sure that you're taking notes. Make sure that you got your pen and your paper. You know, make sure that, you know, you still in the spirit. Right? I know it gets hard. It gets tough sometimes. You got to go to work, got to do this. You got so many things going on in your head. You got so many things going on that you forget to focus on the Most High during the week. This is why Wednesday wisdom is so important. All right. So this is the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. It says, and whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the power and the Father by him. So it's business as usual. All right. Everything we do in the name of Mashiach Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. I'm going to get Proverbs. I'm going to start off with Proverbs chapter 24. All right. What does that say? Proverbs. Let's get that. Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 3. All right. Watch what it says. Proverbs 24 and 3. It says, through wisdom is in a house builded, and by understanding it is established. Right? So when we come on Wednesday Wisdom, this is to build our houses. It's to build the people. It's to establish the house. That's our main goal. That's our main focus here. We want to establish our households. All right? You want to learn how to be a husband? Go back a couple of weeks on Wednesday Wisdom. You want to learn how to be a wife, the duties of a wife? Go back a couple of weeks on Wednesday Wisdom. You want to learn how to be a child? All right. You want to learn how your child is supposed to serve the Most High? This is the class right here. All right. This is the class. I'm going to read that again. Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 3. It says, through wisdom is in the house builded, and by understanding it is established. Your child needs to understand, not just you. Right? Your child needs to understand the scriptures too. I'm not saying he got to know the 70 weeks breakdown. He doesn't have to know the book of Revelation. He doesn't need to break down the book of Daniel. Right? But there are certain things that a child should be able to understand at 3 and 4 years old. Right? If a child could sing the lyrics to a whole little baby song, right? They could memorize the Psalms or the Proverbs. They could memorize the commandments. A lot of times we don't give our children enough attention. We don't give our children enough correction. Right? And it's up to parents, and let me say that, it's not only up to parents to correct children either. Right? There's an old saying back in the day. It says the village raises the child. Right? It was very rare back in the day that little Bobby could go down the street and act up because they know the next door neighbor going to put the spanks on them too. Today it doesn't work like that. The village does not raise the child nowadays. Right? Come on, all praises. Come on, Asher, can you give me Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 1?
Come on, I got you.
Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 1. All right. So this is a very important class.
Come on. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 18 verse 1. through desire, a man having separated himself seeketh, intermeddleth with all wisdom.
Read that one more time.
Come on. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, and verse 1. Through desire, a man having separated himself seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom.
Right. So this is something that our children need to know. Right. You need to let your child know. A child needs to know that they should not always be a part of the group, a part of the crowd. Right. Because even scriptures tell adults that we are not of this world. Is that saying you can't have friends, you can't talk to them, you can't say, give them a high five, right? Is that what I'm saying? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is you need to learn how to be a leader and not run with the crowd. You need to separate yourself. A man who separates himself seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. That's how you gain wisdom, when you separate yourself from the crowd. The crowd may want to do evil and wicked things. They may want to celebrate LGBTQP month. They want to do those things. But as a child of the Most High, you are not to participate in wicked days, in wicked months, in wicked events. Right? That's what we got to learn how to do. And we need to teach our children that, man. Scriptures talk about correcting a child, training the child in the way they should go, right? So now that we talked about separating yourself, right, and building a house, that's mostly what this Wednesday wisdom is surrounded around. Because when we talk about being a great nation consists of what? It consists of families. What does a family consist of? A father, a wife, and a child. Maybe a couple of pets, depending on how you feel about it. Right? That's what a family consists of. And if we want to be a great nation, we got to focus even on the smallest thing. All right? Let's start off with 1 Corinthians 11. So let's go back to that. Because I think we touched on that for the last maybe 4 or 5 classes. All right? 1 Corinthians chapter 11. All right, let's see what that says.
Con, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
Right. So we talk about that. We talk about the Most High constantly. All right. We talk about the Most High constantly. We talk about Yahushua. We talk about Christ constantly. All right. We broke down the duties of a husband, a man in the house. We broke down the duties of the woman in the house. And now we're going to break down the duties of a child. Right. But the first thing we got to understand is that God, Christ, man, woman, and then who is the child? All right. Finish off on that.
Go. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of every woman is the man, and the head of Christ is the Most High.
Okay, so come on. A child needs to understand that. He needs to understand that God is the leader of his house, and he has set up Christ over his father, and he has set up his father over his mother, and he has set up his mother over himself or herself. That's the proper order. All right, let's get Sirach chapter 3. Sirach chapter 3. Sirach, probably one of my favorite books. All right, top 3 at least. All right, Sirach chapter 3. What does that say? Sirach chapter 3 and verse 1.
God. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
Right. So as a child needs to feel that he is safe with his father. Right? This is twofold. The Most High, his father, he said, "O children, and do after," meaning do what I say, and you will be saved. You must follow the instruction of your parents. If a parent is giving a child his instruction and they are not following, that child needs to be corrected. Right? That child needs to be corrected, and you cannot spare the rod. Listen, I don't want to go that far just yet, but you can't spare that child. Right? You need to check all the behavior at the front gate, because you know what happened when you let small things slide. That child's just going to continue to test you. It's in their nature to do that. And sometimes it's not even maliciously. It's just in a child's nature to test and see how far they can go. They push boundaries. And if you don't keep them on that straight path, they're going to end up destroying themselves. That's what the Most High say. That's why the Most High is so big on correcting children. Right? Keep reading on that.
Verse 2, for the Most High has given the father honor over the children.
What does that mean? He gave the father respect. He gave the father glory over the child. A child is to respect his father. Read on.
And has confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons.
Right, there goes. That's that order right there. He confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Meaning what? That woman is authorized to tell her son and her daughter what to do. Right? That mother can tell the son and the daughter what to do. And we got to respect that. Children got to respect that, because you know what it teaches you? It teaches you how to respect order. People that don't respect order, they have a hard life. People that don't respect authority have a very tough life.
And it's a lot. And here's one also, a big major thing too. A lot of people want to make their children their quote unquote friend. They want their children to be able to confide in them as well as to be their best friend. You can't be both. There has to be there has to be a level of respect between you and the child, because now you're blurring the lines. I've seen a lot of parents decide to say, you know what? I'm going to try to be my child's best friend. And it ends up backfiring on them big time when that child starts getting older. The child starts trying them. The child starts acting wild. The parent wants to correct them then, but they wasn't correcting them when they first started seeing those red flags. Now they're asking help from the teaching body or the congregation to correct their child now, even though they weren't correcting their child when they needed to be corrected. So this is the dangers of not setting or establishing those roles and relationships in your house. It's possible that your child can come to you and confide in you and do all these things, but you cannot be buddy all the time with your kids. You have to establish that role of dominance with your kids very quickly, or you will end up having a hard time for the rest of your life. And I rest my case.
Con, no, that's absolutely right. All right, I want to see if I can pull this up real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, Let's see if I can.
And while you pulling that up, there was another point I wanted to make. It's funny because this is the spirit. I was at work today on my break, and I was scrolling through my YouTube shorts, and there was a guy that was on the Breakfast Club, if I'm not mistaken, and he was saying that we should allow our kids to pretty much talk disrespectful to us. And Charlamagne looked at the man crazy. Even DJ Envy looked at him wild. Like, what you mean by letting our kid disrespect us? He was trying to make the point of saying, in order for our kids to have confidence in themselves, to be able to be ambitious and to speak what's on their mind, they should be able to, quote unquote, challenge your thoughts and challenge why you make them go do something rather than having their sibling go do something instead. That won't fly. And here's the thing with Jake, that don't fly. That will never fly with Jake. There's no way there's no way as a parent in my right mind to ever let my child ever get an opportunity to usurp my authority in my house.
Listen, that's a crazy statement, because what structure in this earth do you know where if you challenge the authority that's above, that it ends well for you? You challenge a judge, you going to jail. You challenge your boss, you getting fired. Right? You challenge the CEO, you're out of there. So what makes you think? You know why he said that? Because he's putting his child on the same level. Yeah. And that's where we went wrong. That's another place where we have gone wrong as a people. We put our child on the same level. I remember back in the day when I was growing up, you couldn't even be around grown folks when they was talking. You couldn't even eat at the same time. They say, "Get out my mouth." Right? We couldn't even sit at the table with adults. They said, "There go the kids' table all the way," and you couldn't even hear the adults. All you hear is laughing. And we'll come around the corner trying to put our ear to the corner of the wall to find out what they're talking about. It's because we were raised, and I'm telling you, there's the scripture in Sirach, or I think it's in Esdras, where it talks about the world, right, increases with evil and wickedness. This world only gets worse as time goes by. At least we had a little decorum back in the day. You got children participating in grown people conversations nowadays, right? But that Jake is a prime example of how not to raise your child. Why would you allow your child to disrespect you? When you allow your child to disrespect you, you know what he's going to do? He's going to disrespect police officers. He's going to disrespect his boss. He's going to disrespect that judge, and it's not going to end up in well for him. Scriptures tell you to respect the authorities, man. So if a man is telling us that does not, like Captain Asher say, that's not going to fly. You challenge a king, you going to die. Why make a king mad like that? But this goes into not raising children correctly. I wanted to get this scripture on the screen real quick. All right, what does that say? It says, and we'll just talking about that a little bit. It says, "Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid." What does conquer mean? It means to be light, or to kind of pamper. Spoil thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. That's heavy. So what does that mean? The child's going to continue to test boundaries if you don't set them, and eventually that child's going to stand up to you. He's going to say, I think I could take you. Right? We got the running joke that says, one day you're going to be in the kitchen, you're going to tell them to wash the dishes, and you're going to say, "You know what? No, you wash the dishes." Right? And then what you going to do? It's because you conquered thy child. It says, play with him and he will bring thee to heaviness. That's why you got to watch how you play with children sometimes. It's not to say you can't play patty cake. Not to say you can't play Uno, right? But if you play with that child excessively, right, that child's going to end up thinking that you just a friend.
And also, he testing your strength out. He's seeing in his mind, hey, I may be able to really take this man. That's how some kids work now. They'll really think in their mind, oh, I could probably take this man if I really wanted to. If things get heated, I can take him. Because we've been playing around, we've been wrestling so much. Knowing that your father ain't really giving his full strength. Because there's a difference between a child's strength and then grown man's strength. There's a big difference.
When you get yoked up by a grown man, you can't move.
You get yoked up by a 9-to-5er if you want to.
Right.
You will learn very quickly that you do not have the same strength as that man who's working a 9-to-5.
It's the strength with the anger on the back of it.
Yes.
Right? That child, he gonna understand. This is a different type of game. But sometimes that's needed. This is why a father is so important in the house. Right? A father is so important, man. Right? He's the disciplinary. He's the one that's going to let that son know when he gets, 13 and 14, he's trying his strength on his mom, and that grown man's strength got to kick in and show him, listen, you're not the boss around here. You still got to stay in your place. But as a child, we should never challenge your parents. You never challenge your parents, man. If you want to make God mad, go ahead and try it. All right? Go ahead and fight your parents.
No, that's a real statement. Because I'll even give a testimony to this. Because we all know as men that, like, when you're going through puberty, you start hitting the gym, you've been lifting weights, you think you're the strongest man, you think nobody can stop you, feel invincible. There was one day, in my head, if Satan was playing, I thought I could take my dad. I was like, hey, I could probably take this man. But then the Most High showed me a valuable lesson. I didn't even test my dad. I didn't even try to want to test my dad. But the fact is, I seen my dad. He was at work, and I went to work with him one day, and this man was pulling these big. It's like these cable pipes. This man was pulling it by himself, and I could see the anger and the rage that was in his eyes as he was pulling these pipes and putting them into the ground. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's no way. This man will put me on my head and do damage. It would never cross my mind to challenge my dad. But it's just the fact that I understood through the Most High that there's no way that I will ever in my life, even in my fullness of my strength, I will never try my dad. Because honestly, all it takes is my dad is to yell at me and I'm cut. It feels like a whooping. That's just how bad it is. My dad's yelling is a whooping.
But that goes to show you that a father did something correctly. Because if your father, even as a grown man, and your father, you hear that, it does something to you. Where it's like, oh, wait, hold on. Right? I could be 35, 40 years old. Your father or your mother yell at you. It's like, oh, wait, hold on. I gotta relax. All right. I gotta take it easy. All right. But going in that topic, like we should never, you never try your parents like that. You never I don't care how mad a child is, you never put your hands on your parent. Never. Right? Give me Exodus 21:15. All right. Let's see what the law says about that. How does the Most High feel about children who put their hands on their parents? I was talking to a sister one time. She said, yeah, I fought my mom. I said, you fought your who? Yeah. You fought your what? If you fought your mom, if you don't respect your mom, someone who gave birth, who you can never pay back, you can never repay your parents back. If you don't respect somebody that much, where you can put hands on them like that, you don't respect nobody in this earth.
That's real. I could even give a story behind it. There was a child that a school I was working with at, and I was talking to the principal about why was this child, separated from pretty much everybody else. Even though, when he plays around other kids, he's a normal kid. But she was like, you have to watch out for his anger. And I was like, what you mean by his anger? He was like, she told me that, the son actually punched his mom so hard, he actually broke her jaw. I said, what? She said, yes, they got into it, and he punched his mom and broke her jaw. I was like, there's who in their right mind would think of saying, I'm gonna throw a punch. I'm just gonna throw a punch, and I'm gonna try to hurt the one person that gave birth to me. The one person that is the closest thing to loving me unconditionally. There's no way. I was baffled. I was baffled.
People like that. People like that won't live long. Because the Most High don't care if you're a child or not. You put your hands on your parents, you're not living on this earth too much longer. It's only a matter of time. He might let you live another 5, 7, maybe 10 years, but you're going to pay for that. You broke her jaw, the Most High going to break you. People don't understand the power that we serve, man. You have no idea. All right, let's read Exodus chapter 21 and verse 15. What's the consequence for putting your hands on your parents?
Okay. This is the book of Exodus chapter 21 and verse 15. And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death.
Right. Read that one more time, Mark. Read it one more time.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 21 and verse 15. Verse 15. And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death.
So that means if you put hands on your father or your mother, somebody who gave birth to you, someone that you can never repay back, the Most High said surely, meaning certainly, meaning it's a fact that you're going to die. All right? It's a fact. That's why I say this is why back in the day, the Most High would get rid of children like this immediately. Right? Immediately. There was no, oh, my bad. I was tripping that day. I was mad, man. I wasn't in my right mind. I had a rough day at school that day. So I decided to put hands on my mom. I decided to square up with my father. Squaring up, all right, Most High gonna send an evil messenger against you. People gonna say, man, that was a horrible death that he had to experience. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 21. All right, because what did the elders, what did the people do with children like this? All right, back in the day, listen, you're not putting on your hands on your parents and living years after that. It's not happening. All right, read what you got.
21 and Salah.
I think it was 18. Or hold on, let me get it. Is that it?
Come on. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 18. If a man hath a stubborn and rebellious son, right, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him.
So think about it. You got a child who's rebellious. As a child, if you continue to rebel, you're not listening to your father, you're not listening to your mother, You squaring up every time you see him in the living room, right? Read what you got.
Con. And that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
He's a glutton and a drunkard, right? He's a glutton and a drunkard. Eat everything, he's getting thrown, right? And in a spiritual sense, when you're a drunkard, that means you're perverting the law, right? You're perverting the laws of the Most High as a drunkard. So that means you disobeying your parents. You're not following the commandments. You're not doing what you're supposed to do as a child, right? The Most High said, bring them to the elders of the city. Bring them unto the people who preach the Bible for real. Read on.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones.
Imagine a child getting stoned. Listen, that child who broke his mother's jaw, think about if he's seen a child get stoned. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a video of a brother or a sister getting stoned before, but it's pretty violent.
And it's a slow death too.
It's a slow death.
It's a slow, painful death.
Right? All right. You break your mom's jaw, you shall surely be put to death. You shall surely be stoned by the men of the city. That should enrage people, man. But you know what happened? We've become so individualized. We become where we're not connected anymore. My family's over here, your family's over here. Y'all do what y'all do, we're gonna do what we do. Right? That should enrage an entire community when you hear a child put hands on his mom like that. But nowadays we kind of just shake it up like, yeah, that's kind of normal, bro. Right? That's kind of normal, you know. You got these, what they call them, the YNs. The YNs out here going crazy. All right, doing all type of wickedness. But the Most High said, listen, you're not, as a child, you're not above death. Sometimes children and young people, YNs, they feel like they invincible to these things. Like the Most High won't lay hands on you. All right? And a lot of times when you see a child doing something like that, it's because there's no man around. There's nobody to check this boy. All right? He took advantage of his mother's weakness.
And that's true. Because this is why it's so vital for the man to be in the house. It is very vital for the father to be there, because there's a certain point in a young man's life where his mother can no longer be able to teach him. A man is going to need to teach him certain things, because there's going to be situations like when he gets older, the belt alone may not just do it no more. Coming from a mother, it may need that strength of a father to step in to handle him now, to make him realize, hey, you not the big dog in the house. You not that roaring lion in the house. I am. You still the cub, and understand that I just like you know the old Judite proverb. I brought you into this world, and I can take you right back out. That's the mentality that we should still be having towards our kids, because we just throughout generation, we, like the powerful captain was saying, we got soft. We got to the point to now we're trying to cater to their feelings. But when dealing with the Most High, it's not about catering the feelings. It's whether what is right through the scriptures and what is wrong through the scriptures. And scriptures say you should not spare the rod to your child. If your child is acting amok, you gotta beat them on the sides. Thus saith the Most High. Yes, you could have a conversation about it. You know, the reason I whoop you, you know, or I had to chastise you is because you did this, this, and this after I told you not to do it. I'm trying to teach you to be strong. I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to make you stronger, because it's either I teach you or the world teach you, and the world is going to teach you a lot more rougher than I would. So I am trying to spare your life rather than you go find out in the world, and the world either kills you or they put you in jail.
And that's a real thing. Scriptures say that when we raise our children the right way, it says we grieve our enemy. We grieve the enemy when we raise our children the right way, because you know why? Because it doesn't give them a reason to put harm to our children. Right? When they're blameless and they walking in the sight of the Most High, they can't do anything to these children. But when they not, they say yes. See, I got another one. Right?
Right.
That's what it is. That's what it is, man. We can't take these things for granted. All right. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 3. Oh, that's sad. See, Sister Lisa said, my sister-in-law was spanking my nephew with a belt when he was 5. He laughed the entire time.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's sad, man. That's sad. That's sad. As a 5-year-old, so if he's 5 doing that, just imagine. It's only going to get worse.
Just add 10 years onto that.
It's only going to get worse. He needs that man strength. I'm telling you. Especially these little boys, they need that.
Need that one, the old school, grab you by the chest, turn the shirt and lift up. Have you? Right. they need one of that.
Break their spirit, man. Right? It breaks their pride, their ego, their sense of I'm the biggest and baddest thing out. You gotta break that. You gotta show them how they need to be humble, and you gotta show them humility. How to practice humility. All right. It's not good. Let's go to Sirach chapter 3.
What you want? 3 and verse 3?
I think that's where we were, yeah.
Whoso honoreth his father, making an atonement for sins. And
Come on.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3 and verse 3. Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins.
Right. So when you have respect and honor and you show your father, right, the respect that he deserves, it says you make an atonement for your sins. Right? You make an atonement, a time for forgiveness of the things that you have done wrong in other spaces of your life. All right. So you have to honor your father to make atonement for those things. Read on.
And he that honoreth his mother is as one that lieth up treasure.
So imagine that you laying up treasure when you respect your mom, when you have honor of your mother, right? Think about treasure. When it says you layeth up treasure, that means treasure has been stored away for you. That treasure is going to come back and bless you later on in life. Right? So as a child, you always show respect to your father and your mother. Read on.
Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children.
Right?
And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard.
Shall be heard, man. The Most High is going to bless you. He's going to open the windows of heaven, right? When you respect your father. And not only that, when you respect your father, it says you're going to have joy of your own children. That means your children are going to be able to respect you. Right? Because that karma, that cycle is a real thing. A lot of people I know that are older in age, and when they were young and they were doing wicked things, when they have children now, their children doing the same wickedness, causing them hell. Can't sleep at night, going through all types of, you're just not in a good place mentally because your child is driving you crazy. All right. So if we respect our parents, our children are going to respect us, and we shall have joy in our children when they do those things. All right, read on.
Good. He that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother.
Right. So you want to be a comfort to your mother, and you want to honor your father to have long days in this life. All right. That's in the book of Exodus. When we go back to the laws that were established from the Heavenly Father, he told us we gotta love, we gotta respect our father and our mother, that thy days may be long in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Right? When you look at the so-called 10 Commandments, our people have broken every single one, including the one of disrespecting parents and not honoring them. So as children, and what we teach our children to do, we got to get back to that. We want our children to have long days. We want them to live a long time, to be able to obtain wisdom, to pass on to the next generation, to build on the things that we have been able to sacrifice for them. All right. So it says, if you respect your father, you're going to have long days. All right. And if you respect your mom, you love the Most High, and you become a comfort to her. All right. Read on.
God. Verse 7. He that feareth the Lord will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters.
Man, that's deep right there. It says, he that feareth the Lord will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to masters. So what does that mean? All right, chat, what does that mean? Let's read that again. Read that one more time.
Come on.
Break that down in the chat. I want to see what that means.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 30. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 7. He that feareth the Lord will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters.
Right. So what does it mean to do service unto your parents as to masters? All right. What does that mean? All right. I don't see no answers yet. So I'll break it down. That means you're like a servant to your parents. Right? When you read the scriptures, if somebody had a master, you were their servant. You were serving them. Right? Nowadays, we get up in our age, or even when we're a child, ask the child to get you a glass of water. All right? They huffing and puffing and sighing, taking all day to, I'm not doing that. Right? That's not what scripture said. You fear the Most High. It says you got to be almost like a servant to your parents. We got to do service unto them. We got to make their lives easier as they climb up in age. Right? Come on. Sister Lisa said you will treat your parents as you would your master. All right? Come on, read on up.
Come on. Verse 8. Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them.
Right. You want that blessing to come upon you. Keep reading.
For the blessing of the father established the houses of children.
Look at that. The blessing of the father established the house. What is the word established means? Look, this is when it's created. When a father blesses his house. If a father is not blessing that house, the house is incomplete. A lot of us have incomplete households right now. We have incomplete families because our father has not blessed the house. He has not established his house, which trickles down to the children. Right? Read on.
Can I be heard?
Come on.
All right, come on. Verse 9. Well, I'll start at 8. Honor thy father and thy mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father established the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations.
Hey, your mother curse you, you finished, man. You finished. Said it root out the foundation. All right, keep reading.
Glory not in the dishonor of thy father.
And that's the one point I want to touch on too. Because you see a lot of parents, a lot of children who do this, right? They dishonor their father. They dishonor him, right? They disrespect him, right? And they glory in it. I remember one night we were teaching, and there was a sister out there, and she was just going on and on about how she don't think her father is a good father. But when you start asking the questions and you getting deeper to the root of the matter, she didn't like the discipline that he gave her. She lived in his house under his roof, no bills to pay. He paid off for all the food, the clothes on her back, he paid for, but she gloried in the dishonor of her father. A lot of children do that. A lot of children do that. And we shall not glory in that thing, man. It's like you raise it when you disrespecting your dad. Right? We get it. Mothers get a lot of love because they are the nurturers. Right? Sometimes fathers are looked at a little crazy because they have to be the one that bring the hammer to make sure that you're on the right path. But you got to respect that. All right? Never glory in the dishonor of your father. Read on.
For thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee.
What does that mean? That means you are your father's seed. You are your father's seed. If you disrespect your father, you disrespect yourself.
And you know that's pretty powerful. That's powerful thinking about that now. Because a lot of people have this thing of saying, I did this and that. My daddy wasn't there. My daddy was a deadbeat. This and this and that. Woo up in the third. You're not supposed to be glorifying your dad being a deadbeat. You're not supposed to be glorifying what the scriptures say, dishonoring your father. If anything, you shouldn't even be speaking about. You shouldn't
Don't even
speaking on it.
Leave that thing alone. Just
right, because you don't really know what happened. You may not know or gotten the full story of what may or have taken place between your mother and your father. You don't know the full story. He could have there was probably a situation where he had to leave, or something bad was going to happen. You just don't know. So you should just leave it alone. You shouldn't even talk about it. That's powerful that we're not supposed to be glorifying in the dishonor of our fathers. So whatever goes on, you're not even supposed to say that. You're just supposed to say, I had to do this and that, do this and that, and that's it.
You got to stay in a child's place.
Yeah,
you still a child to your father and your mother. You got to stay in a child's place. Right? Stay in a child's place, man. A lot of times, children they get to talking about what's going on between their parents. Listen, let your parents take care of that. Stay in a child's place. It's important. Right? Read on a couple more. We'll finish off on this.
Verse 11. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father. And a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children.
It's a reproach to the children, man. Right? A mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. Right? We don't want to have any type of reproach in our families. Right? We want to be kingly. We want to be godlike. We want to try to be blameless as possible. Right? That's what we want to do. So we shouldn't have any type of reproaches in our households like that. Right? Read on.
Oh, this is powerful. Verse 12. My son, help thy father in his age.
Right. Read that one more time.
My son, help thy father in his age.
Help your father in his age, man. right? And we know that the Bible speaks in masculine terms. That goes for your mother as well. When they start to get, they getting up there in age, you see them, right? You're looking a little frail. They're not, they're not as full as they used to be. They're not as quick as they used to be. You gotta help them. Ask them what they need. Scripture say when you have children, it is like having arrows, right? Right? Full of the quiver that's full of arrows when you have a lot of children. Those arrows are supposed to be protecting that person. We are supposed to protect and help and give service to our parents as children. Right? So when you see them getting up there in age, scriptures tell you to help them. Read on.
And grieve him not as long as he liveth.
Don't make that man mad. Why are you making his life harder? Why make your parents' life harder than it already is? Most of our parents, they got to work for 40 to 50 hours a week. They've been doing it for the last 30 to 40 years, 50 years. And you just add in pain and struggle and strife in their life when it don't need to be like that. When you should be out doing something productive, trying to help your parents. Right? Read on.
And if his understanding fail, have patience with him and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength.
All right. So when the mind starts to go, because we know that happens in age, your mind is not as sharp as it used to be. When you start seeing those signs, it says, listen, don't despise your parents for that reason. This is a part of life. And one day you got to think that you're going to go down that same path. And wouldn't you want somebody to be patient with you?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you want somebody to take their time, right? When you're not doing anything with the malicious intent, you're not trying to be difficult. It's just that you're not that sharp like you used to be. You're not as young. You're not as vibrant. So as a child sees their parents get up there, even from a young age, as a child, scriptures always say give service to your parents. Help them as they get up there in age. Don't despise them as they kind of, start to decline off that cliff. All right? That's not righteous behavior. That's not what we do as God's children. Right? Read the last one, 14.
Verse 14. For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up.
It shall be added to build thee up instead of sins. Instead of sins bringing you down, it says those good deeds that you provided for your father, it shall be added to build you up. It shall be added to make you into a great person, right? An honorable person. These are things that we always want to practice, man. All right? Our young children should always practice not disrespecting their parents, right? Hearing and understanding the instruction that they have given them. Never putting your hands on them, right? And giving them service, right? You see your mom, your dad, they don't have a hard day. Ask them, is anything I could do for y'all? All right? Instead of playing the game all day, all right? Instead of going to play outside first thing, ask your parents, is there anything I could do for y'all? All right? All right? We got to be better with that. As the children of Israel, that's what we are commanded to do. We are commanded to give service to our parents and love them and respect them and honor them. All right? Because
I got this one thing that I used to, I say, you would, as a child taking care of a parent, you should always ask yourself, well, I used to use this rhetorical question. If your parents were to pass away, could you say you have done enough? You should ask yourself those questions. As a child taking care of your parents or even helping them, when you feeling frustrated or you feeling some type of way, they may be calling you all the time to do something. You should be asking yourself, if they were to go today, could you said you have done enough? And the answer is always going to be no.
Right.
Because there's always more there's always more you can do.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself that question. Really tell yourself that in your mind. When you get frustrated, say, if they go and I'm here, could people say, or in your mind, in your spirit, in your own mind and conscience, that you have done enough for both of your parents? Can you say that? And that's what you should be doing, because it'll make you think twice about how the way you may be dealing with your parents. You may think twice about how the way you even may be presenting yourself to your parents when they need your help. You'll be less I guess attitude about the requests that they demand of you. But I rest my case. Go ahead.
I wanted to get a quick scripture to close out real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. All right, that's powerful. All right, we want to make sure that we're doing the most we can as a child, not causing more headaches, not causing more grief. All right, let's see what it says. I'll pull it up on the screen real quick. All right, this is Sirach chapter 7 and verse 28. All right, matter of fact, I'll start at 7 here. It says, honor thy father with thy whole heart, and forget not the sorrows of thy mother. What is the sorrows of thy mother? Remember the days that you were conceived. Remember when she had to struggle with you in her womb, right? It says, remember that thou wast begotten of them. Remember, you're their child. And how canst thou recompense them the things that they have done for thee? Meaning, how can you repay them for the things that they have given you? You cannot repay somebody back for giving you life. Life is invaluable. Like, you can't put a number on that. You can't there's no amount of money that is worth your life. There's no amount of gold that is worth your life. You cannot repay them for the things that they have given you, for the sacrifice they made, taking you to the hospital when you were younger, cooking for you, taking care of you while you were sick, bathing you, changing your diaper, right? Giving you the jewels to get to this point in life. Remember, you can't pay them back as a child. Never. All right. Kind. All right. So all praise be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for his mercy truly endureth forever. I pray that everybody has been, somewhat edified. Pray that everybody learned something today. Listen, if you got children, show them this video. All right. Make them sit down. Tell them to take notes on this video. Make them give you a presentation. I need a 10-minute presentation on what you learned from Captain Kadash and Captain Asher on Wednesday Wisdom about the duties of a child. These things help, man. These things help. All right. So we got to continue to, do our best to strive in the Most High, to strive in the law, statutes, and commandments, continue in the faith of a Mashiach Yahushua, and, continue to push from there. All right. I pray everybody had a good new moon, blowing of memorial of trumpets, highest new moon. All right. All praise to the Most High. We had a great time at D-Lot of Zion. All right. Clap it up for the Most High for that. All praises. Come. All right. So we're going to continue to push forward, man. Continue to push forward and do everything that we can in the Most High. All right. All right. All praise. So with that being said, I want to say shalom to the house of Israel. And hallelujah. God.
Yeah.
da-dum, 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 da-dum. Ay. Yeah, we got sauce from the heavens. I want that bread with no leaven. Yeah, we the salt on the earth, so we gotta take our praise up to a new level. I rep completion at 7. I rep completion at 7. You want the word, I will give you the word. Aki, yes, I'm just here just to serve you. Yeah, we got sauce from the heavens. I want that bread with no leaven. Yeah, we the salt on the earth, so we gotta take our praise up to a new level. I rep completion at 7. I rep completion at 7. Yeah. You want the word, I will give you the word. Aki, yeah, I'm just here just to serve you. This is that smooth flow. Man, what should I do though? New season I'm reaping. I jumped out the deep end from unrighteous credence. Ayy. Believing that I wasn't chosen, awakened from hurt that I suffer provoked. My heart was so rested, a decay and coating, but inwardly I was still golden. But anyway, let's keep on going. What is that stuff that you do with your nose then? Your nose in the earth, that pride is a snare. Proverbs 16 and 18. Yahuwah, yeah, he is my strong tower, my roof, my hedge and protection. Yeah, Torah, yeah, it is my light, teaching me how I should fight, showing me how to live right. I'm giving you praise. Remember days when I was slave, stuck to myself, praise your name. I had to change it. Remember them days I was just feeling so low, wanted to let it all go, but I couldn't let it all go, no, no. So I give you praise, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give you praise, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give you praise, yeah. Your Torah, yeah, it is my light. Your Torah, yeah, is my light. Drippy from heaven is getting me right. Yeah, we got sauce from the heavens. I want that bread with no leaven. Yeah, we the salt on the earth, so we gotta take our praise up to a new level. I rep completion at 7. I rep completion at 7. You want the word, I will give you the word. Aki, yes, I'm just here just to serve you. Yeah, we got sauce from the heavens. I want that bread with no leaven. Yeah, we the salt on the earth, so we gotta take our praise up to a new level. I rep completion at 7. Yeah. I rep completion at 7. Yeah. You want the word, I will give you the word. Aki, yeah, I'm just here just to serve you. I know it might be a little strange how a brother just up and just change. I was so sick of the same, the normal wearing them same old chains. Feeling so low, y'all heal my soul, but I still got some healing to go. Feeling so off, but y'all turn on my mode. I was so broken as soon as it had shown. Feeling so down, thoughts going wild. He lifted me up and he gave me a crown. I gotta keep going, can't let him down. The enemy mad cause he can't tear us down. Y'all who should away, I came here to stay. You told me to follow and I will obey. I won't turn away, I'm seeking your face. I'm serving Yahoo to the end of my days. Serving Yahoo to the end of my days, oh yeah. You are the one that I wanna serve. You are the one that I wanna be. I'm praising, I'm thanking you, yeah. You are everything that I need. It's your word, let's make me free.